Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Legendary V19 here. And today we have a Nelson video for you. Yes, one of my favorite ship in the tier 6. We're gonna look what I'm running on that ship, which is concealment, 4 heals, and we are having a very good armor to angle for the enemy team. Sometimes you can get in tier 7 and you may struggle to do it, but as long as you can angle just enough, you're gonna be just fine, no matter what kind of caliber it is shooting at you. It's not like you're gonna get a legendary tier anymore anyway. So we're gonna have survivability, big guns, but it says we have no armor, but whatever. What commander we are using? Azurline Nelson, which is exactly the same name as the ship. Why? We're gonna have a little bit of everything. Big 7 for increasing the HE damage. We're gonna give away the AP damage with the turret rotation. We're gonna have more dispersion, 4 heals, and Flammable Cannoneer, fight fire with fire. Mikhail Kedrov and Cunningham as an inspiration to help with the dispersion a little bit more, or the grouping, not dispersion, because of the grouping Cunningham gives you, and the Kedrov for the rotation of my guns to get them on the target just in time. Yeah, that's gonna be what we are going to use. So you're using that. If you have another build, everything can work, but that's the one I'm getting comfortable with. So we have here a map north. We are spawning on the right side of it, and of course we're gonna do everything we can to protect our flank. Once again, welcome again to my channel. Hope you like and subscribe if you want to see future videos, and very often streaming either nighttime or daytime, depends when and how the mood is going, but we are trying to keep the channel as active as I can. I have a real job to do as well, but whatever happens, we are gonna just continue and do what we just did to that guy, just annoy the shit out of the enemy team, because HE is gonna be what you're going to use the most on that ship. And angling out, of course, because at the beginning I didn't know exactly what ships are going to spawn on that side, so angling like that was just to make sure that if I need to just run away, I'll be able to do it no problem whatsoever without giving broadside to anyone. But once I saw that we have Florida, we got Torp over there, we got a few salvo with HE, cruisers we go down soon, and Florida we're going down as well. We just need to hold a little bit longer as long our team can win the other side. Well, what we have on the right side of our bow will be a carrier for some reason that he decided to push in the middle, and that will be a reason why the win is going to be even harder than we're gonna have. But once we get to the last 5 minutes, it's going to be the trick on how can you do it, because on that video with Nelson we're going to focus more on survivability, and the damage and everything else can come depends on the game, how many ships you have, because right now on my side the team is doing just fine. I don't need to do all the damage, I'm just taking part of it, and now we're gonna just move forward because the time is ticking, and before we go with the bow in, they're gonna be going down anyway, and we're gonna be able to just help the rest of the team. Soon enough is gonna be when the carrier is gonna start to go forward once again. Big mistake, you need to learn how to position the carrier better, but whatever, anything that happens. Had a bless to play without carriers, or at least because I play the Ark Royal, but on tier 7 because we have all these missions that Wargaming give us. Was a nice break to have not having carriers in the game, or at least most of the time. Back to the game though, like I said, Boise is almost gone. It's gonna just try a little bit more. And it's not gonna manage to survive because our team was very aggressive, got the cup at the same time. But being aggressive, it's gonna have to come with a problem in the end of the game, because you feel like you are doing so well, and when you don't realize it, your health goes down so quick. And go back to port, that's it. Instead of going on the right side, we're gonna go left, closer to the middle, because we already have our teammates on our right, and there's no reason to go all the way around the island. It's gonna be a lot of time to waste. So we're just gonna go forward and see what happens. So, looking now, he's doing very well. We're gonna have some shots, but we're not gonna take them. Summers was not something very easy to aim at, because I was kind of thinking to do it, then I was waiting a little bit longer, and seems like he was turning in. I was not spotted, so decided to stay unspotted for a little bit longer. Moving back though, another very dangerous target we're gonna have. It's a Flandre, it's a tier 7. Not the best guns, but the reason we survived this one was, again, we are with HE loaded, something that every French battleship hates to have. So we're just gonna do everything it takes to burn that guy down until he goes to the bottom of the ocean. Our DD doing typical DD things, which is seeing another destroyer and torping him. Well, guess who is gonna win? Yeah, of course the enemy destroyer, because he's not gonna waste the time to torp him. He's gonna waste the time to torp me or the Abruzzi. And that's how you're gonna go down, by playing very, very bad. The game looks very boring right now, I know. That's not why we are here. We are here to show how we survive till the end of the game and secure the enemy, or more likely secure our win from the enemy. Because we had someone that I knew on the enemy team, the destroyer that's gonna burn us the whole game, and had to try 3 times harder to survive. Couldn't lose. It was a fun time, a fun time. We had a talk after that, even with the enemy carrier on the other team. But well, it's okay. It was not a hate mail. He had a blast to see someone like me surviving so long after torping so many times and sending HE bombs. But this is how it's done. Looking right, looking left, battleship everywhere, just in between them, stay angle. If you're not sure who is gonna shoot at you, that's a better way to do it. Kaga was spotted, but we didn't have a shot to take, and the moment I had one to take, it just disappeared once again. Flandre taking that torp is gonna be the reason why he's gonna go down quicker than usual, because it's gonna have a little bit more fires to deal with. And once we made sure that he had a permanent fire, it was the moment that I decided, okay, now is the time to move on and take care of what's in the middle. It's not a ship that you gonna find yourself brawling so much. Most of the time you have to stay a little bit further away than most ships. It's not a very good brawler. It's mostly of a backline ship and supporting the team, and of course burning the enemy. Angling, once again, like we saw the armor, was the best thing we can do. Just pretend you're gonna go broadside and make them shoot exactly where the big armor of the ship is. Kaga spotted once again, but unfortunately we don't have any shots on him. Once we had, he was gone once again. Why? Well, because out of nowhere I just realized when I was playing the game that me and that carrier was the last one alive. And the mistake that we had, it was like I called in the beginning, the push in the middle of the cap, which was a very, very big mistake because the destroyer got Charlie Cap and he was already making his way here. And that destroyer had a very, very impressive game that unfortunately he lost. Why? Well, because we survived. And there you go, once again, after we fire our guns, every time the target that it's the most important to shoot, it just gets spotted. I'm gonna take this shot anyway. So I'm gonna back up, and that's the moment that we are going to have to use the damage control, because this time, if you look closely, Akizuki it's not focusing on us, and that's gonna give us enough time to get our damage control back without getting lit on fire too early. Why? Well, because we are lucky enough not to get another flood from the carrier, and that's what's gonna make us keep going forward and survive a little bit longer. I say a little bit longer, but actually we're gonna survive the entire of 4.5 minutes, almost 5 you can say. Why? Well, because of so many mistakes done that we just gonna use them. Take advantage of the enemy mistake and never do what I did there. I fired my guns once again. It was exactly where the ship was, but a little bit more on the outside, and that was another mistake that makes us go on fire once again. Getting on fire on the Nelson though, not a big deal. Any British ships, especially the premium ones, Nelson, the Conqueror, and a little bit on the Vanguard, you're just gonna know when to use the damage gun. Most of the time you're gonna have 4 of the squares on the bottom left, and once you see that the square starts to go down as well with the rest of the heal, it's the right time to use the damage control and use the heal if you have one. And now we got our health back, 5 seconds to go, and just keep repeating the same thing over and over. Getting another shot, just resetting the cap, earning our high caliber and Confederate medal, because we shoot a little bit of everything in that game. The one ship that I would like to shoot was the carrier, but unfortunately he will never get spotted again. Or maybe he will, but we are not gonna pay attention probably. Once again, just trying to dodge the torps. It's not the right time to get torp right now. We're just trying to survive a little bit longer because the time is ticking. It's not the most easy thing to do, especially if I was in a different ship, but being in a Nelson was something kinda easy, but struggling at the same time. So, having the name on the bottom left popping out of nowhere, I had no idea at the time what it was, because I was trying to talk to him, but no reply. I guess it was someone that left the mic open and was like looking at the game, and probably like you looking at me and understanding how we survived for so long. Once again, double fire. Yeah, a big problem? No, I don't think so. That's a big thing that you don't need to worry in the Nelson. HE spam is not gonna be your worst enemy. Your worst enemy is gonna be things that can overmatch you. That's your worst enemy. Fire, it's gonna be a thing that you're just gonna get used to anyway. Once again, we got our 4 squares of health. We are waiting a little bit longer for the carrier to shoot, and one he did that with Scanner Damage Gun once again and used the last heal that we are going to be able to use. We had one more heal to go, but we're not gonna be able to use it. Why? Because the carrier is gonna get close enough with the torpedo bombers, and before I was able to use the heal, it was already too late, but the game was almost over. So we managed to survive just enough to get the win for the team. Speaking of, the caps, when you're trying to take them as quick as you can because every second counts, it was the same mistake that Mr. Nuddy on the enemy team in a destroyer did, which was to stop shooting at me after I shot him back because my guns was not facing at him. So him stopping shooting at me was what kept me alive a little bit longer and what's gonna keep me alive the last 5 seconds before the game ends. 1, 2, 373. Why? Well, for some reason destroyer just stopped shooting at me and we survived just enough by using the health that we have and taking out the fires and the flooding at the right time. That's how the game is gonna be ending. Fireproof, Confederate, Dreadnought, High Caliber, all the good medals. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.